In today's video, we're going to walk you through how to use the auction insights reports to rank higher than your competitors inside Google Ads. And firstly, what the auction insights report actually is a report where you can see yourself alongside your competitors and see how often your ads are showing versus theirs, including how often your ads appear above theirs and how often theirs appear above yours, as well as how often you appear in the top three positions on the page inside Google, as well as the number one position. And to find the auction insights reports, you come to insights and reports first of all, and then go to auction insights. And in the auction insights report, then you will see yourself alongside any of the competitors that Google notices that your ads will appear for at the same time. And with that, you're really able to see what your visibility is looking like compared to them. And just to walk you through each of these metrics, first of all, so you understand exactly how to interpret the auction insights report, is your impression share, first of all, is the percentage out of 100% that your ads appeared for the number of times that they could have possibly appeared, for the amount of keywords you're targeting and the locations that you're targeting. So, for all of the eligible searches that you could appear for, this is the percentage of the time that your ads were shown. And the two main factors that will limit your impression share are your daily budget. So, if you had a higher daily budget, this could increase your impression share, but also your rank, which mainly comes down to what you're bidding, and your quality score, which I'll also touch on in just a moment. But then what you have is your overlap rate, which is how often your ads appear alongside the competitor. So, for example, this company here, Leave Two Landscapes, our ads showed up 36% of the time at the same time as theirs. So it's useful to know how often your ads appear alongside specific competitors, because in those cases it's always worth looking at those competitors' ads just to make sure that they're not doing anything special with their ads that you're not doing yourself, because you obviously want to make sure that with your ads you're trying to stand out as much as possible. And we'll also just walk you through how to use the Ads Transparency Center to look at the competitors that you're appearing alongside quite often, just to make sure that you're doing the best you can to have the best ad copy out of all the competitors you appear alongside, so that if somebody sees your ad, you're more likely to get the click over any of them, which will also help obviously increase your click through rate, which in turn will increase your quality score, and then that'll obviously bring down your cost per click as well. So that's why it's important to see who your competitors are and try to make sure that you have the best ads out of all the competitors that you see listed alongside here. The position above rate then is what percentage of the time does this competitor rank above you? So out of all of the times our ads are showed alongside each other, for example, with this company, 21% of the time their ads are showed above us. But outranking share, then, which is the last metric here on the right hand side, is how often our ads appear above them. So you can see here, for example, that our ads rank above them more often than their ads rank above us. So that's what position above rate and outranking share really is. It's how often they appear above you and how often you appear above them. And the other two metrics worth mentioning as well, which are top of page rate, which is how often, for the amount of times your ads are shown, you're shown in the top three positions. So out of all of the times our ads are shown, which is nearly 60% of the time, of the times our ads are shown, around 84% of the time we are shown in the top three. And this top of page rate, it is important to have as high as possible, because in the vast majority of cases, people are going to click on one of the top three ads, assuming that at least one of those ads actually resonate with them. So we do want to appear in the top three as often as possible. Whereas absolute top of page rate then is how often, when your ads are shown in the number one position. And you can see here, for example, our ads are shown around 45% of the time in the number one position. And obviously, the more often you have your ads showing up here as well, the better. But it is a bit more of a difficult one to have your ads showing up at the number one spot all the time. The reason being is that you have to be bidding very aggressively to do so, and also have a significant daily budget, and also have high click through rates and quality scores, because Google are always going to want to show the ads that are the most likely to be clicked on to the users when they actually see the ad. So if they can see that your ad is more likely to be clicked on than your competitors, then they'll also be incentivized to show your ad above theirs. So it's not always about, bidding as high as possible or having the highest budget. If you really work on the quality of your ad copy, which we'll touch on as well with the Ads Transparency Center, to make sure that your ads are more compelling and stand out more than your competitors, then this will also increase how often you can appear at the top of the page. And just to touch on this point of impression share, which is really the most important out of all of them, if you really want to improve your impression share as much as possible so that your ads are shown as often as they possibly could be, what I would do first of all is go to all campaigns and come here down to campaigns and press campaigns again. And what you want to do is look at the search impression share metrics for your campaign. So you can see here, for example, that again, we can see just like we had in the auction insights report our 56% impression share. But what you also want to do is pull up your columns for search loss impression share due to rank and also due to budget, because those are the two reasons you'd be losing out on impression share in the first place. Because you can see here that your search impression share, search loss impression share due to rank, and search loss impression share due to budget will always add up to 100%. So for example here, if we just simply had a much higher daily budget, if the company allowed for that, they would simply have a much closer to 90% impression share by adding an almost 30% extra impression share to their current total. So improving your search loss impression share due to budget is the most simple one. It's simply just increasing the daily budget that you have in place already if you can afford to do so. While search loss impression share due to rank then is more about what you're bidding. So for example, if you're using maximize clicks with a cost per click bid limit, you can simply increase that bid limit. And similarly, if you're using a target CPA with maximized conversions, increasing that target CPA as well, or even removing that target CPA will significantly improve your bid, which will lower your search loss impression share here due to rank. And now, assuming that you don't have any limits in place for maximized conversions, for example, or you don't have any bid limit in place for maximized clicks, then it's really the quality of your ads that you want to focus on next. And quality score is something I've made separate videos on the channel about as well, if you'd like to check those out. Quality also ties back in to looking at how your ads look compared to your competitors, because Google are going to want to show your ads more often if they think your ad is more likely going to be clicked on, which is probably the most important aspect in going into determining your overall quality score, which is your expected click-through rate. And as we mentioned, just to see what your ads actually look like compared to your competitors' ads, what you want to do is come to the Ads Transparency Center and come back to the Auction Insights report here, where you can look at the competitors you appear alongside the most. For example, this one here. And you can take the URL of that competitor, come back to Transparency Center, enter it in, and here you can see the ad copy that they're using and compare it with your own ad copy and think, if somebody sees these two ads alongside each other, whose ad looks more compelling? And if they're doing anything with their ads, for example, that might be helping them stand out that you're not using yourself, then it might be worth considering updating your ad copy, as that's the most important aspect really that goes into determining your expected click-through rate. But apart from that, also your ad relevance. So you want to make sure you have separate ad groups for every service that you offer. So for example, here for this artificial grass services Dublin, this ad is a lot more likely to perform better if all of the keywords in that ad group are all related to artificial grass. So if you offer multiple services like driveways, garden fencing, things like that, or even just general landscaping, your ads are far more likely to have higher quality scores if all of those keywords are split up into separate ad groups where the ad copy and landing pages are all highly aligned with those keywords as well. So I hope this video helped and gave you some clarity on how you can use the Auction Insights report to rank higher than your competitors inside Google Ads. And now if you do have any questions about anything we touched on inside this video or anything else related to Google Ads as a whole, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you are a service-based business looking for further help refining your own campaigns, feel free to have a look at the link in the description. And if you do like this Google Ads related content as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as we'll be posting all things related to Google Ads here daily. And hopefully we'll see you inside the next video.